Who doesn't love watching a good scary movie on a Friday night? We sometimes get the thrill of having chills going down our spine as we watch a movie unfold in front of us. But on today's list, we will be talking about some of the scariest original horror movies to date that you can watch on Netflix right now. Hello and welcome back to Bamtoplists. I'm your host Tina, and today we will be taking a look at the top 10 Netflix horror movies that will keep you up at night. Please leave this video a like and subscribe to our channel. Share this video with a friend so that we can reach our goal of 1,000 subscribers so that we can start doing contest giveaways as a way of saying thank you for helping us reach our goal. Now, who's ready to get scared? Coming in at number 10, we have Fear Street Trilogy. This trilogy movie set was released in 2021. There are 3 movie parts: Fear Street Part 1, 1994, Fear Street Part 2, 1978, and Fear Street Part 3, 1666. All of these movies are based on the best-selling novels written by R.L. Stine. Each movie has its own story plot. Each of these 3 movie sets all has some sort of connection which combines them all together in the end. Part 1 takes place in the year 1994. This is where we get to discover that this town has an ancient evil that's been haunting there for generations. Part 2 is about a story that takes place in the year 1978. 1978 talks about Camp Nightwing Massacre, which was lightly discussed in Part 1. And Part 3 takes place in the year 1666. This is where we get to see how this all started with the town witch hunt that turned the town upside down. All 3 movies are all connected. You have to watch these movies in order, otherwise it just won't make sense. Coming in at number 9, we have Apostle. This movie was released in 2018. This movie is set in the year 1905 London, and we get to follow a man named Thomas Richardson. When he returns home, he finds out that his sister was taken away from home to be a human sacrifice for a religious cult. This cult believes that animal sacrifices are no longer good enough for the gods to keep this island's fertility. Thomas travels to the remote island where this cult lives, and will do anything and everything to get his sister back home safely. As he enters the island, he comes across a cave where there are paintings of an evil deity that has taken over this island. This movie is definitely not for the faint-hearted. There are some moments in this movie that might make you feel sick to your stomach. However, this movie should be on your list if you think you can handle it. Coming in at number 8, we have 1922. This movie was released in 2017, and it is an adaptation of a Stephen King novella. In this movie, we get to follow a rancher named Wilford James, who convinces his son to help him murder his wife for financial gain. His wife wanted to sell the farm, but he didn't want to, so they thought the best way to get what they wanted was to go and murder his wife. The town's sheriff finds it very suspicious that all of a sudden, his wife disappears. So he tries to find out where she really is. His son Henry soon regrets what he did to his mother and runs away with his pregnant girlfriend out of town. Everything just goes downhill from there. We get to watch just how one horrible act has a long impact on the father and the son's life afterwards. This movie will definitely make you think and keep you on your toes as to what's going to happen next. What do you think will happen? Do you think the wife's body will be found? Let us know in the comments. Coming in at number 7, we have Death Note. This movie was released in 2017. This movie is based on a very popular Japanese manga anime series titled the same name. We get to follow a teenage boy named Light Turner. He discovers a supernatural notebook titled Death Note. When he opens the book, there are instructions that state that by writing a person's name down within it, that person will die in the manner prescribed. Light soon ends up meeting the owner of the book and convinces him to use it and to try it out. He can kill anyone that he wishes. Once he gets a taste of what the book can actually do, he starts coming up with names who he believes are not worthy to live anymore. Imagine if this book existed in real life. If you had your hands on this book, would you ever use it? Coming in at number 6, we have Hubie Halloween. This movie was released in 2020. It is a comedy horror movie starring Adam Sandler. If you want to watch a funny slapstick horror movie, then this is a good pick for you. We get to follow a man named Hubie, and he is known to be the butt of the town in the town of Salem and is ridiculed by many people. On October 31st, he spends his Halloween night as a Halloween helper. The day before Halloween, he notices a new neighbor in town and has a strange feeling about this man. So anyways, on Halloween night, While he is monitoring the town, he notices something off about this new neighbor and strange noises coming from the house. He reported this to the police, but the police didn't take him very seriously. However, it turns out that the noises he heard were actually someone being murdered. So Hubie goes and investigates it. This will definitely be a comedy horror movie you won't forget, and even will make you lose sleep at night just because of how ridiculous this movie is. Coming in at number 5, we have The Platform. This movie was released in 2019. We get to follow a prisoner who goes into this special kind of prison that has many levels. But the twist in this movie is that the prisoners who live on the top floor get to have the most food, and whatever is left gets passed down to the floor below, and it repeats until it gets to the very end of the level. Which sometimes the prisoners who live at the bottom don't get any food at all and starve. As we watch the movie unfold, we get exposed as to how people would react if they don't get enough food in their system. These prisoners will do anything and everything to satisfy their hunger. They are all criminals after all. They are capable of coming up with some pretty intense killings just to get what they want. How do you think this movie will end? Coming in at number 4, we have #Alive. This movie was released in 2020. This movie is known to be one of the best zombie movies of the year. We get to follow a man named John Woo, who locks himself up in his own apartment as a deadly virus makes its way infecting many people across the world. He would watch from his own apartment balcony just how crazy people are going. He succeeds in keeping himself safe from everyone, since people out on the streets turned into zombies. We get to see how he struggles being locked up in his own home for days until he finally has to leave his apartment. What do you think will happen to him? Will he survive? Coming in at number 3, we have Oxygen, or some people call it O2. This movie was released in May of 2021. We get to follow a woman who wakes up in a cryogenic chamber and has no idea how she got there, or even knows who she really is herself. All she knows at the beginning that she is slowly losing oxygen in her chamber and tries to find a way out before it's too late. As we watch the movie unfold, she slowly starts to remember who she is and why she is in there to begin with. This movie is scary because it's not knowing what will happen next, or how fast the oxygen is going to deplete in her chamber. Do you think she will make it out in time? Coming in at number 2, we have Bird Box. How can I not put this movie on this list? This movie was released in 2018. It stars the famous Sandra Bullock. This movie is based on a best-selling book written by James Mailmern. We get to follow a woman with her 2 kids in a post-apocalyptic world where if they open their eyes, they will be consumed by whatever kind of creature that took over the world by controlling the person's mind to force them to take their own lives. So, the mom and kids try to find a special place hidden somewhere along a river where they can go and be safe. However, they have to reach their destination blindfolded. As you watch the movie, it will keep you on your toes because you just don't know what to expect and what will be coming around the corner. It's definitely worth the watch. Coming in at number 1, we have His House. This movie was released in 2020. We get to follow a young refugee couple named Boyle and Ryle who, with their daughter, escaped a war zone from South Sudan. They traveled on a boat and finally arrived in England. 3 months later, they were finally given a place to stay to call home. However, this place is unkept and dirty. They were given strict restrictions. If they do not follow them, they will be deported back. They try really hard to be the best they can and to prove that they belong in the UK. But they face a lot of racism and their neighbors and society in general, which makes it much harder for them to try and live their lives. As they try to live their lives in their new home, the couple experiences strange phenomena in the house. What do you think could be haunting them? I don't want to spoil the movie for you because this one should be on the top of your list to watch. And that's it for today's list of the top 10 Netflix horror movies that will keep you up at night. Which movies on this list will you watch next? What horror movie is your favorite? Let us know in the comments. Don't forget to leave this video a like and subscribe so you can stay up to date with all of our lists. Also, please share this video with a friend and help us reach our goal of 1,000 subscribers so that we can start doing giveaways as a way of saying thank you for reaching our goals. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.